Hey everyone, welcome to the PC. I'm William and I've got another Pokemon theory for you today. So Mount Pyre, the Pokemon graveyard of the Hoenn region. The area that holds the red and blue orbs necessary for awakening the legendaries Kyogre and Groudon. It's a pretty important location, but for a place that seems so significant, it seems kinda small, and that got me thinking, just how tall is Mount Pyre? Is Mount Pyre even a mountain? The first thing I have to think about, before I can even look at Mount Pyre, is to find out what defines a mountain. The United States defined it as about 1,000 feet, but that was a while ago and it's not an official measurement. So then I found that the UN Environmental Program defines mountainous as a height of at least 980 feet, and that the smallest named mountain in terms of official definition in feet above sea level in the US is Mount Scott in Oklahoma at 823 feet. So to give Mount Pyre the benefit of the doubt, we'll go with that value, 823 feet minimum, but we'll hope it can break 1,000. So now back to the games. First, to discover the actual height of Mount Pyre, I would need one of two things. Either the angle we're looking at the Pokemon world through, or the actual height of something in Hoenn that I can compare the mountain to. Now, as there are no actual heights listed on any of the landmarks in the games, buildings, towers, houses, nothing, I decided to explore the first option. So what angle are we looking at the Pokemon world through on our screens? We know it's not a perfectly aerial view, or the top of a Pokemart would just be a blue square and the top of my character's sprite would just be his white hat. By the way, I was very surprised to find out that it was a hat. My whole childhood I thought he just had white hair. We also know it's not perfectly ground level view, or else this girl, who my character is clearly taller than, would disappear behind me when I stand in front of her, which also doesn't happen. So we know that the view of the Pokemon world is between 0 and 90 degrees above horizontal. So my next thought to figure out that angle is to find something in the Pokemon world that I can measure that overlaps another thing or is cut off due to the viewing angle. The floor tiles in the Pokemon. The bottom part of this tile in the repeating floor pattern is cut off by the counter due to the angle that we're looking at the room through. So based on this diagram, a side view of the room, I just need to know the height of the counter. Well, I can't tell the dimensions of this glass case then, they could be almost anything. Hold on, give me a minute. I'll figure something out, just let me pace around a bit. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now let me leave the building. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay guys, I crunched the numbers for hours, but I finally had to come to the conclusion that 11 is not equal to 4, which is quite a predicament, because it seems that unless my character is shrinking whenever he walks through a door, almost all the buildings in the Pokemon world seem to act like Hermione's handbag in the Deathly Hallows, in that they store an impossible amount of interior volume on their exterior. And while that may be interesting, it really doesn't present too much of a problem for what we're looking at today, as Mount Pyre is an exterior location. What it does limit is that now I need the height of something in the exterior of the Pokemon world that I can use to find the exact height of Mount Pyre. Gosh, I may have hit a dead end. I mean, I may not be able to complete this theory. Maybe it can't be done. Wait, that's it. May or Brandon. The answer's been in front of me all along. Since Brandon and May are both characters that actually appear in the anime, maybe I can find something in the anime to compare my character in the game to. And that's when I found this picture of Brandon standing next to his Sceptile. Now based on this height, since Sceptile is known to be 5 feet 7 inches tall, and I measured him and Brandon with a ruler on my screen to be 4 and 3.3125 inches respectively, by solving this proportion, Brandon would be about 4.624 feet in height. However, I couldn't be exactly sure that this picture was taken at an angle 0 degrees from the horizontal, so to confirm this, I found a picture of just their heads, and using the size of the yellow orbs on Sceptile's back, I found that Brandon is exactly 2 orbs shorter than his Sceptile, and the orbs are 0.3988 feet in diameter. So, using this equation, Brandon would be 4.786 feet. Now these are pretty close, but to give Mount Pyre the benefit of the doubt again, we're going to go with the taller height, as that will make everything we compare the height to in the games a little taller. We do have to keep in mind, however, when measuring his sprite in the game, that in this picture his hat is pressed down, while in the game it sticks up a little, so we only have to measure to here on the sprite and not here. So by comparing Brandon to a Pokemart and solving this proportion, we find that a Pokemart is 13.621 feet tall, and from this picture we can find that a Pokemart is equal to 2 layers of mountain. Finally, we figured out the height of something we can compare the mountain to, and the angle of viewing didn't even become necessary because we had an actual height to work with. So finally, I'm going to assume that the misty area at the top of Mount Pyre is as high as it can possibly be, aka on top of this part of the mountain. So if we measure 8 layers of mountain from the zoomed out aerial picture, 20 layers from this part of the mountain, and 5 layers at the summit, we can find that Mount Pyre is 33 layers tall, or 16.5 Pokemarts. With each Pokemart being 13.621 feet tall, using this equation we can find that Mount Pyre is a mere 224.745 feet tall. That's less than a third the height of the shortest mountain in the US, and less than a quarter of the height of what the UN defines as mountainous. It seems Pyre just needed to be higher. Yeah, so to answer the main question for this video, is Mount Pyre a mountain? No. It should actually be classified as a hill, and while hill doesn't scream significance, it calls this rock out for what it truly is, Hill Pyre. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. If you like this type of video, click the suggestion bar at the top for another Pokemon theory. Well, that's all I've got for now. Thank you guys for watching, we've restored your entertainment to full health, and we hope to see you again.